I'm hoping that with my headphones in, this audio isn't too bad, and yeah, y'all can actually hear me. I got the air conditioner on because it needs some heat in the car. You can see it's foggy and everything, but I don't know. I was thinking about doing this video, or just doing a video where I'm kind of just talking, which, big surprise, I'm always talking. But I was watching, I just got off from work. I was watching Gorilla Fent. He did a video, he uploaded it, I think yesterday. He uploaded a video of a possible podcast that he wanted to do, and he had Chosen Droid, somebody I just discovered not too long ago. He had him on there, and they were talking about content creation because of Twitch. And they were basically, the discussion was talking about how for if you're trying to be a partner with Twitch, then hosts and stuff like that don't count towards your view revenue. And they were saying, yeah, that makes sense because it's not organic. And you know, to be a content creator, you have to push out, you know, content. You have to grind. Like, this is a long-term thing. He really referred to it as, you know, a marathon. You know, it's something that takes time, and it's something you have to keep doing and doing and doing. And even when you get to a certain point, it's, you know, you keep going. There shouldn't be any end goal. It should be like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, but I keep going and I keep grinding. You know, you don't. Yep. I don't even know what else failed. Something else failed just now. I don't know. It's this case. I'm trying to keep the phone in place, and it just falls. But yeah, it made me think, because I was just talked to my uncle recently too, and he was asking, you know, are you still doing the YouTube thing and everything like that? And the last thing I uploaded was those 2 Injustice videos, which got copyright claimed. I guess Warner Brothers probably claimed it because I guess, you know, that's a big company and they won't claim to their media. It's like, I don't make money off my YouTube videos anyway because I'm not monetized, but you know, it is what it is, I guess. And I was thinking about it because I did 2 Twitch live streams, which I uploaded on YouTube, and I haven't streamed since. And I was kind of thinking about, you know, back and forth between trying out YouTube streaming too, because I've in the time from the last time I've streamed, I've seen Ludwig switched over from Twitch to YouTube. Valkyrie is still continuing her contract with YouTube, and then it's like Pokimane, who is on Twitch. I was just, you know, kind of figuring out some things, and honestly, I haven't made much content because I don't feel as comfortable making the content at my house. It just feels kind of weird. Like, even right now, sitting in the car, it feels kind of weird just because I haven't done it in so long. Or at least I'm by myself here. And one of the problems I had with my channel, just thinking about the type of content that I've posted from like the beginning of the channel to, I wouldn't say the last 2 videos, but like from the beginning of the channel to maybe like my last talking video, or even before that when I took those breaks. It's like I got tired of my content being depressing, because a lot of it came from me being depressed. Obviously, you know, I've dealt with depression a lot. Last year, what year are we in? 2022? Last year, shoot, for years I've been dealing with, you know, depression. And, you know, discovering that, like, my YouTube channel for me was always me like discovering things and wanting to talk about those things, and kind of like how you can deal with emotions and everything like that. But I felt like my problem was the fact that I was kind of airing out my grievances a lot more than I should have. And a lot of time I took being in that emotion and recording instead of being able to process it, because shoot, just this year I've realized, not even realized, but just this year I understood how to process emotions a bit better. So I want to do, like, this is another catch-up video. It's been a while since I've uploaded anything, but I want to shift how I make videos, or how I want to shift the mood of the content of my videos. I don't want it to be, oh, I'm mad at this person, or I'm mad at this, or oh, depression this, which I'm still going to talk about, like, you know, if I am depressed or any emotion that I feel, I want to talk about it, but I want to talk about it in the sense that not woe is me, but this is where I am and how I understand it to be from my perspective of my life. And I don't feel like I've done that properly, which, you know, that comes with time and growth and understanding. And I feel like I'm reaching a point where I can say that I am understanding myself a lot more. And honestly, that comes from a lot. I remember the last video I did, I mentioned, you know, there's a woman in my life and everything like that. You know, she's still there, and honestly, she is a big reason for why I've had such a mental shift, because I've been working 2 jobs. I started that like the beginning of the year, and I'm back at Firehouse. I know I don't remember if I made a video when I left, which technically I got fired, but it was more so it's either you or somebody else is gonna leave, so I chose to leave. But I don't remember if I made a video. I left Firehouse. I started working at Kroger. I work overnight, and I was thinking about, because this year I'm gonna be moving out, and I was thinking about doing 2 jobs just to see what that's like. You know, I'm driving now. It'd be easier than when I was trying to work at Wendy's and Firehouse, so I thought, which it is. It's just I don't sleep as much as I should because I'm hard-headed. But the woman I'm with, she also worked at Firehouse. That's how we met. And she suggested, you know, since the person that basically tried to fire me was gone, well, she wasn't gone at the time, but it's like, you know, maybe you should try working back at Firehouse again. And I was thinking about it, but I was like, as long as she's there, it's gonna be a problem for me and the woman I'm with, because that was the problem to begin with, which is why I got fired. So I was like, I don't want to go back into that drama. But one day I came in there, the district manager, he was there, and he was like, hey, we need people, so it's a good thing you showed up. You want a job? And I was like, hey, sure. I'll at least see how it works. That'll be extra money from me. And I've been doing it for a couple months. I'm still kind of figuring out. The biggest thing for me is finding a balance between life and work, because since I turned 18, I think a little bit, it was right before I turned 19 was when I started working at Wendy's. So pretty much from 18, 19, all I've done pretty much is work. Like, there were times where I've had time spent with friends, but for me, I think the problem was I spent too much time feeling like I needed to be around a group of people that, I'm not gonna say I didn't necessarily like them or anything, but we're not friends now. And a lot of it was just smoking and drinking, which to me at the time felt like it was fun. You know, I'm young. I didn't really have friends at that point. Like, I had my brother, but he's in Florida. I'm not in Florida anymore, so me and him don't hang out. So I didn't have any friends really going up here, and it was just like I felt like I needed to be part of a crowd, and I don't feel like I was my most genuine self when I was hanging out with them, because I'm not a smoker, I'm not a drinker. Like, I smoke just because I was in a good place. Like, I didn't want to do anything that I felt like, you know, at the worst of times, this is what I'm gonna go to and become addicted to it. So I picked the best time of my life to decide to smoke so I wouldn't get addicted. But I stopped smoking pretty much the minute I stopped being friends with those people. And drinking was something I feel like I did more than, no, I don't feel like, I know I did more than smoking, but it didn't appeal to me. Like, that's not for me. And I feel like the type of person I was when I was under the influence of those things, and also just trying to make friends, trying to people please, trying to be so much a part of something that I wasn't really interested in being a part of, that affected me a lot more and kind of pushed me away from those things. So it kind of put me back into work, because that was all I had. And the last person I dealt with before the person I'm with now, dang, it's crazy. It hasn't been 2 years yet, but just think 2020, I was dealing with her. That pushed me to a very terrible state of mind, and that's where I realized I had anxiety on top of the depression. And that, I don't want to use the word trauma or traumatized like I'm a victim of anything, but it did affect me mentally very heavily. So yeah, I feel like that was a traumatizing point in my life that I kept putting myself through. And it was more so traumatizing because of the fact that I kept pushing myself back into that situation. Like, from the very beginning, I knew that this wasn't something that would work. But because I am the way I am, I kept pushing myself back into it, experiencing more pain, more hurt, and it didn't work out. So I was kind of still dealing with that. So being in a new relationship, especially with an older woman, it was difficult to understand my place in that position, because it's like I'm still young, I'm still trying to not necessarily experience life, but I'm still trying to find out where I fit in my life, on top of having that trauma and dealing with that in the back of my mind. Which, I don't know, it was easier transitioning into that relationship because I kind of understood at some point that it's like, this is not the woman that you were dating before. This is a completely different person with completely different feelings and everything like that. You aren't gonna go through the same thing that you went through with this last person. And a lot of stuff was going on in my life at the time that had me reflecting on it. My granddad died. I got fired from the only job that I've been working for years since I left Wendy's. And that to me was like a really pained experience, because it wasn't necessarily the fact that I got fired for what I got fired for, but it was the fact that, you know, when you put so much time and effort, like I sacrificed a lot of my time and mental health for that job to make sure through all the BS that went on at that store, and the BS that still goes on at that store since I've been back. I put up with so much, and to just be let go over something petty, mind you, for nothing. Like, there was nobody that tried to reach out, say, hey, maybe we can work something out. I was never really acknowledged like that. Like, people would acknowledge me to a certain extent. Like, they'd be like, oh, I'm so glad that, you know, we have you here, you work so hard, and then make me do all the work so they don't have to. And then it's like, you work so hard, you do this, I'm buying breakfast for people so we can have a good morning, I'm working extra hard so we can have a good morning. And then because of whatever stick up somebody's butt, I was let go. And I didn't have a job for a week and a half. And that really put me in depression while I was waiting to see what job would hire me. And honestly, I feel like I was a bit over dramatic. And, you know, my girlfriend will attest to this too. But it's like, it was devastating in my mind at the time because all I've known was work. So me not having an income for that week and a half, me not knowing where I was going, on top of, you know, like I said, my granddad's dying, seeing that, you know, it's one thing to hear that somebody is dead. It's another thing to see them and then feel like you don't even recognize them because it's been that long. And me and him already didn't really have that good of a relationship, you know, since I've started getting older. It was one of those situations where it's like, you know, you're cool with them, you love them and everything when you're young and you don't know. But the more you start to know, the more you kind of drift apart because you start to see it for yourself. And I remember we really stopped being close with the girlfriend I had in high school because she said something of the other about her. And it just kind of drove a wedge in my relationship with him. And what really kicked me in the butt is, you know, my mom, I believe, was like, you should be the bigger person, you should apologize and everything like that. So, you know, I sucked it up and I apologized. And he said, well, why didn't you do that sooner if you were sorry? And so much of me wanted to say, because I'm not. So it's just interesting when you put that in place, because it's like, I was sad, but I wasn't as sad as I felt like I should have been, but I couldn't force it because me and him had stopped being close for so long. It's just the fact of the familial connection. It's like, dang, you know, people die, but I wasn't expecting it to be you. You know, especially on top of another auntie had died a couple months earlier. I think another family member might have died. It was just so much death surrounding everything. And then other stuff going on with my parents. So it was just a lot going on mentally. And it took a toll on me. And I knew that I couldn't make content in that type of headspace because it would have fit right in with the stuff I had a problem with making. But there's some positives that came from that. Me and my dad have a closer relationship because he's become more, I want to say candid, but I don't feel like that's the right word. He's just more upfront. You know, it's like me and him didn't necessarily have the best of relationships when growing up. Like, he was there and everything, but it was like me and him weren't close. Like, me and my mom were like best friends. Me and him didn't really spend too much time together. In fact, it wasn't until I started working that me and him kind of got closer, because it's like, me and you have something in common. We both work and we both deal with the same things, even though he's in a way completely different position than I've ever been in. But now it's like I'm seeing him in a completely different light, because it's him accepting, hey, I'm a flawed person. I still make mistakes at this age, but the best I can do is learn what my issues are and work on them and heal. And I feel like part of that has kind of healed my relationship. Like, you know, as a child, when it's certain things you lack in life, you always go searching for those things. And I feel like a big part of my life has been trying to search for some type of love. And it wasn't fatherly love, because I'm always going after women. It wasn't maternal, because I had that at the home. But I don't know, it just felt like, I guess it was some type of love that I felt like I was missing out on. and I've basically been searching for all my life. It's interesting. So I feel like getting a closer relationship with my dad has kind of healed something in my childhood that I didn't really know was broken. Even it's the little things, because I see how a lot of things that happened over the course of these past couple years have affected him. You know, I really get to see him as a person, and it's crazy to think, but I had to realize this about myself, that I didn't really see people as people. You know, there, like, even with the people I was close to, it was kind of like, I don't want to say means to an end, but it was like I saw them, like, as for example, friends, I saw them as people that didn't make me lonely. You know, it was fun to be around them. We had good times and everything like that. But a lot of times I might not have acknowledged them as people. I feel like that was a problem I had with one of my friends, because we kind of had a falling out at the beginning of our friendship. And it was just like, I didn't even see nothing wrong with it, but I had to realize that I hurt her feelings, and I had to apologize. But I was just ready to give up on the whole friendship, because it's like, well, I'm used to this. I'm always making mistakes, so I don't even feel the need to fix this, because this is the natural course of relationships that I have with people. And that, honestly, that whole thing, when we talked it out and everything, kind of made me, well, didn't kind of, I don't know why I keep saying it it made me realize that you gotta change. It's a lot of things that you're doing that come from your past, but this is new, and you need to work on that. And that's the biggest thing about this relationship that I have, is unlearning a lot of things. And I was gonna say that wrap all of that back together was the fact that with all the things going on, I was reflecting a lot on everything in life. And even recently, I was thinking about all these different things about relationships and stuff. And the biggest thing I realized, that I complain too much, and I need to let a lot of stuff go. Because, like, with work, I could complain about work for hours and hours and hours, but even I've got to the point where it's like everything that you've complained about ever recently has already been said. So either you can change the environment that you're in, or you can change how you deal with it. But this problem isn't going to go away. And she even said so herself. She was like, if there wasn't problems at the job, they wouldn't have asked you to come back. So you knew that going in, there was going to be problems. So I was like, yeah, especially considering the job. Like, it's just so much. I'm not a business owner, but I feel like there's a lot of things that could be done better. And it shows, you know, internally and externally, because it affects how people view everything as well. Because the attitude of the workers at the business tells you everything you need to know about said business. But I'm not going to go into detail, because this is my content and everything. This is my personal experience. But, you know, on the off chance they decide to get Sue happy, they're not going to get me. But I've just been reflecting a lot, and I realized that I've been holding myself back emotionally, just because I've been holding all these different emotions in, and they haven't been doing anything for me. Like, there's a lot of different times with just my relationship that I've seen where it's like, okay, I need to sit down and understand why I feel like this and where this is coming from, because this is affecting the relationship that I want to be in. And this is annoying to me, because it's like I've been here so many different times, and I see how it affects somebody that's important to me. Why do I keep doing this? It's like simple things, from dealing with my anxiety, dealing with my depression. And I didn't realize how much my anxiety affected me until it's like we might get into a little confrontation with each other every now and then, but it's like there was a specific time where she felt like I was trying to be dominant in the argument by getting loud. And for me, that was me I don't want to say being triggered, but that was me. That was me feeling anxious. Like I felt like I had to not necessarily prove a point, but I felt like I had to get my point across. Not in the way that I'm right, but for you to understand me, because I'm scared of being misunderstood and causing this to escalate more than it should. I just happen to get louder because I can't shut up when I'm anxious. And I keep talking and talking, trying to do more explaining, and that just makes the situation worse. And like that comes from feeling like, feeling like I have to validate my emotions, that I have to be understood for me to feel justified in feeling any type of way. And two, that kind of rolls into one point. I had a second one, but it kind of fits under one. It's just me feeling like I have to justify my emotions because I spent so much time feeling like there was no reason for me to feel the way I felt. And that comes from pretty much being emotionally tortured in the last relationship I was in. It was a point of, I love you, but I'm gonna treat you the worst anybody has ever treated you, and still say that I love you and expect you to believe that. And it causes you, it's not even just that, it's just my whole life I felt like I couldn't justify my emotions, because a lot of my emotions come from anger, and I realized the anger comes from the fact that I'm in a situation that is harming me, but I keep putting myself through it. So I'm just mad at the whole world because it's like, this isn't a situation that is safe for you, is beneficial for you, but you're still here. And you see that it's not beneficial, nor is it safe for you. We need to get you out of this situation, but you're still here. That's why a lot of times relationships for me end when I get so angry to the point that I don't want to deal with them, because I'm tired of feeling these continuous emotions that are harmful to me mentally. So why am I still here? So feeling like I have to justify my emotions and everything has been terrible, because on top of already feeling like you're facing an uphill battle by even getting into a confrontation with somebody, it's not even knowing if you are right. It's like other different experiences and everything like that, and just, I don't know, feeling lost. There's just so much that comes with those feelings, and I had to realize a lot of this comes from situations that you aren't even dealing with anymore. And I'm not gonna improve my life if I keep holding on to those ideals and feelings from bad relationships and just places where I was in a low space in life. And honestly, I gotta stop feeling like, I'm not feeling like I'm the villain, but I gotta stop feeling like I'm the problem, like I'm a solution that needs to be fixed. Because I'm not a solution. I'm a problem that needs to be fixed. More so, I'm a problem that needs a solution. I'm a human being with emotions. I'm allowed to feel emotions. A good bit of the time I feel emotions, I'm not irrational, and I have the mental capacity to understand when I am, because I feel like it. But that was the biggest thing. Like, I remember trying to hammer that point home in the last relationship I was in. I'm a human that has emotions. I feel things. Why do you keep hurting me? And that is annoying, to even feel like you have to say I'm a human being with emotions, because fucking duh. I know my mom's probably gonna watch this. I don't think she's gonna get 29 minutes into that, so I think I might be safe. She might comment and say, "Ooh, you cursed." But it's just, I don't know. And the way my brain works, it's like the simplest things become so complicated because I used to think about 50 different things on top of it, which is another thing I realized I had to stop doing. So it's so simple to say you are allowed to feel emotions because you've been hurt. People have put you through so much, and sure, you might have put yourself through it, but it's because of you searching for something and feeling like you found it somewhere where you haven't. It's not necessarily a bad thing. We've all done it. You're still a human being with emotions, and you're still young, and you still have a lot of growth to do. There's a lot of maturity in things that you have to, get to. There's levels that you have to get to and everything. You're not going to get to those levels without experiencing that pain and everything. You're allowed to feel hurt and everything like that. And you might even carry that on for a couple years while you're still learning how to heal from it and everything like that. But you can't beat yourself up about it, because that's going to make the situation even worse. Because not only are you mad, but now you're mad about the fact that you're mad. And now you're mad at the fact that you're mad because you don't know why you're mad at the fact that you're mad. And it's like that does more damage to you than anything that could be thrown at you. Because, suffice it to say, you become a stronger person dealing with all the stuff that you dealt with. But you don't feel like it at times because you're going through this mental gymnastics to try to justify, or even a lot of times I don't even try to justify my emotions. I'll just sit there and say, you shouldn't feel like this. You have no reason to. You knew that this was going to happen. Why are you feeling like this? Suck it up. And it's that going through those types of emotions is just so frustrating, because it's like, why do I have to fight with my own brain to tell me that I'm valid enough to feel emotions? To feel like I have a right to live and be happy. The fact that I feel like I have to justify my existence by being nice, by putting up with so much shit that I put up with, by just doing everything for other people and not much for myself. I feel like I have to justify my existence by doing those things, by being a good person, by being happy, by being nice, by working so hard so other people don't have to, by basically using my body as the vessel for pain and stress and so much tolerance of other people's terrible behaviors, other people's laziness, and other people's lack of wants for anything for themselves, and try to uplift them while I'm slowly getting crushed under the weight of pressure that I put on myself. And doing all that is how I justify my existence. At what point do you realize that either I gotta get rid of this weight because it's gonna kill me, or I just have to let it kill me? And there's been so many times where I felt so defeated in life that I wasn't going to, commit not alive, as I see people on YouTube call it. But it was to the point that I didn't care if I wasn't alive anymore. And I'm pretty sure I've touched on that in my videos too. I remember the big uproar about that, which also frustrated me too, because it's like I'm sitting here being emotionally vulnerable by telling you that I deal with depression, and that sometimes, I hate myself. Sometimes I don't feel like I do things the right way. And, I'm working on that. I never even mentioned committing not alive. It was just like, I have depression and I don't feel like I handle certain situations properly because I don't have that emotional capacity to deal with them properly. But I'm learning to work on that. And it was so much of people thinking that I wanted to die, and that, you shouldn't post this on the internet, and what are your parents doing? And it's like, that doesn't have anything to do with anything. I'm just explaining my emotions because I feel like this. It's like so many times, black men aren't allowed to feel things without it being some type of uproar. I keep seeing this meme that talks about like Tyrese and Kanye and all of them when they were going through their mental breaks. And it's like, I get it to the extent that, yeah, there are a lot of times that people will make fun of people going through things. That's what people do. Shoot, even people that's going through things might make fun of themselves because it makes them feel a little bit better going through whatever they're going through. And it's like, I don't want to live in a world, at least from my existence in it, where I can't say I feel like this and feel justified. You know, I don't really care how other people perceive it because this is my emotion. There's no amount of anything that can change how I feel about myself or situations around me. All I can do is change how I perceive it, and that's what I've been working on. I don't want to keep complaining about life. I don't want to keep going through the same things that I feel like don't benefit me. I don't want to keep trying to justify my existence by tolerating somebody else's. And that's a problem that I felt like I've had for a while, for years. That's why I put up with the different things that I put up with. But ultimately, I just don't want to feel like I have to justify my existence at all. Like, I don't have to do anything to be valid. And I'm learning that. I'm learning how to deal with different things and how to be happy. And I don't even want to say happy because I'm not always going to be happy. I don't feel like that I'm necessarily in a place to always be happy. But I want to be, what's the word? I want to be in a place where even if I'm not the happiest, I'm still okay. You know, I don't have to be happy, but I don't want to be mad or sad either. Content, I guess, would be the word. I want to be in a place where, you know, mentally I'm good. And honestly, I haven't really felt as deep a depression as I felt like even just last year. So that's good. You know, I don't feel as depressed as I used to. And honestly, depression doesn't come up as much as it used to. Anger's still there sometimes. I'm working on that too. It's just, I'm in a place where I feel like I can understand myself the best emotionally and can even look back at the past and see what I'm still holding on to, what I need to let go of, and what I need to work on to be happier or to be more content in life. You know, I'm formulating a plan, and I feel like this year is a big one for change for me. I say that like every year, and honestly it's true because each year my mental changes and it grows. I don't feel like it's declining. You know, there are times where I feel like I falter, but I'm definitely doing better mentally than I have been in a while. I think it's a good place to start. And I'm probably not gonna upload content frequently just because right now I'm more focused on getting things together so I can move out. I might start making more content when I move out because then I'm gonna be by myself. I'm gonna be in a place where I'm more comfortable. And also, I want to get an actual streaming camera with better quality because I have a potato camera right now, which is another thing where I'm kind of like, yeah, I will test it out, the streaming thing, and I see how it looks. And it wasn't necessarily the best quality for me. That's another thing why I don't really upload as much, because I want better quality videos. I don't want to have, you know, I got like 100 something videos. I think I still have 25 subscribers, which honestly, shout out to y'all. I don't even know where y'all at. Y'all might not even be active no more, and that's why y'all still subscribe to me. But it's like, I want you know, better quality that isn't repeating itself. You know, I got, like I said, I got over 100, probably over 200 videos, and a lot of that has been good content. It's been video games and stuff like that I've thrown in there, but on occasion it's games that, you know, nobody watches. That's why I haven't played The Walking Dead again, just because I'm like, I haven't been feeling like streaming it, not streaming it, recording it. I want to do streams of games and stuff like that too, more so than just recording a video on my PlayStation, uploading it, because I want to have face cam, you know, when I get a good quality camera. So I got to figure out how to do that properly, because I can connect my HDMI and everything to my capture card, but its screen is flipped upside down, so it doesn't look right, and my face cam isn't on it either. So I got to figure that out, maybe get a better camera, or get a different type of camera and figure that out. But I want to start streaming longer games if I go back to streaming. I want to stream longer games and everything. That's why I picked Left 4 Dead. I also wanted to play Five Nights at Freddy's, because that's like I can't even say childhood, because I think I was like, how old was I? They came out 8 years ago. It's 2022. 8 plus 4 is 12. So that was 2012? No, because that'd be 2020. That'd be 20. What am I talking about? 8 plus 4 is 12, so it'd be 2014. If I'm 24 as of 2021, so I was about, ain't no way I wasn't 17, about 16. My math isn't always the best, but I was like 16, 17 when Five Nights at Freddy's came out, but I grew up with it still. And I saw that they had, I think this girl dancing in photos, but yeah, I think I saw the PlayStation 4. They have all 4 of, I think it was 3 actually. 3, I think it might have been 4. I don't remember if they had sister location. I remember they had Ultimate Custom Night. But I saw that they had those games on there, and I wanted to play them, because I was like, how does that play on consoles? I played it on mobile. I haven't played it on the computer. So I wanted to see how I played on consoles, because I forgot they were even going to add them to consoles. Then I got Security Breach. Well, I just got paid, thank God, because I'm broke. But I just got Security Breach. Honestly, not a big fan of that game. I've watched Markiplier play it, Fusion Gamer play it, Daco play it. I think I might have watched somebody else play it. I was gonna watch somebody else play it, and I still don't remember nothing that goes on in that game. It's like a handful of events that happen in that game, and I don't remember them, even after just watching them. So it was like, me playing it myself, a lot of it, I feel like if I get a forward momentum in the game, I might like it more, but I don't like the fact that I can't defend myself. Chica is non-stop catching me, so it's like I'm still figuring out that, but it hasn't really been as fun for me to play. They just released a patch and everything too, so I do want to update it and play it, but I'm not, you know, I wanted to do like a whole Five Nights at Freddy's series, playing through the games and then play Security Breach and all that. So I might do that, we'll see. But yeah, I'm just kind of figuring out what type of content I want to put out. And to kind of circle back to what I was saying about Rilla and Chosen, you know, them talking about content creation and then talking to my uncle the other day, it made me think about, you know, what do I want to do as far as life? Like, you know, I started the whole YouTube thing, and every now and then I take breaks, like I'm Corey Kenshin. And, you know, even with the Twitch thing, I kind of took some breaks, and it's like there's ideas that I have for life and things I want to do, but a lot of times I feel, it used to be discouragement, but now it's just kind of like I don't feel like doing something as far as making content if it's not something I feel is worth it. Like me sitting here for about 50 minutes, probably by the time the end of this video goes on, is actually sitting through it and doing it is me wanting to make said video. Like, this is how I know that this is a video that I wanted to upload, because I've been thinking about it while I was sitting at work, and honestly I wasn't gonna do it. I was just gonna go home, take a shower, go to sleep. But I got in the car, seeing the lighting was good enough for me to make a video, and I decided that this is something I want to upload. It's relevant to me. It goes along with the content and the ideas that I want to put up for this series, but it also is kind of like initiating a shift for me, because like I said, I don't want to keep making the same content. I don't want to have the mood of the content be the way it was, where it's more so complaining and it's more so just so depressing and everything like that. I want content that I feel like if this was the first video that you watched, I mean, honestly, you going back to my old videos might be not much of a culture shock, but at least attitude wise it'd be different. But I want somebody to watch these videos and kind of consider how they're feeling about things, you know. That's always what my content, for me, that's my goal personally. That's always what I wanted my content to be, is, hey, I just watched this guy talk about how he feels, you know, where he's at mentally and everything like that. I sort of relate, and honestly, I think that this might open up my mind about my depression or my anxiety, and it might, you know, I might get more insight on it and see that, you know, not only am I not the only person feeling this, which everybody kind of knows that based on social media nowadays. Nobody has a problem talking about what they are or what they feel. You know, it's like, it's somebody who might not have it all figured out, but they understand enough of it to be able to put it in words that I might not have found yet. And, you know, I'm not going to be the first YouTuber to do that. I'm way below the grid of bigger YouTubers who have done something like that. But you never know, somebody's first YouTube video could be my video. Or even if it's not, I feel like I at least want to add something to that conversation of mental health as I come to understand it. This is the type of content I feel like from a YouTuber I might watch. This is something similar to what I would want. And I watch a lot of YouTubers that do video games and stuff like that, but there's also a handful of people that do like mental health talks or just their life in general, and they have a mental health talk because they might have a day where they're just going through something. And I kind of want that to be, well, I'm not saying I kind of want that to be, that is part of the content that I want to create, that I'm creating, that I want to put on this channel. And yeah, I feel like the more that I learn and the more that I grow and the more I take time to actually just sit and understand things from a certain perspective, the more I might feel comfortable uploading videos. But also at the same time, it might not be as frequent right now until there's actually something going on, or, you know, there's something I feel like I have to get off my chest and put on YouTube, because that's what I do. And this also was a good way for me to kind of get a mental health check for myself, seeing where I'm at, how I feel, how can I portray these feelings and communicate them. And honestly, being in a relationship, I've definitely gotten better at communication, because you can't be with somebody and expect to have a good relationship and not be able to communicate with them how you feel and everything like that. And I tell, you know, my girlfriend all the time, you know, I'm young, I'm bound to make mistakes, I'm not gonna have everything figured out, but I at least want us to be on the same page and for us to understand each other so that we can have a plan in place, we can figure things out, because communication is key. well, comprehension is key. Communication is the start of comprehension, whatever. It benefits me for us to communicate how we feel and everything like that. Because if it's something that can be solved, we can work on it. If not, at least we understand and communicated that this isn't something we can work on. But communication is key. And the biggest way to learn how to communicate is for me to communicate with myself and see where I'm at, how I feel about a lot of different things, so that I can communicate it to somebody else, which is where these videos typically come in. And now I'm just kind of rambling. It's hitting that 50-minute mark, like I said. So basically, that's where I'm at. And yeah, things are getting better. About all I can say right now. So if you like this video, comment how you feel either about this topic, how you feel about the video, just how you feel in general. I say follow me on social media, but it's not like my social media is really connected to my YouTube. I don't really make content much. Like Facebook, I just share a bunch of memes. Snapchat, I just post selfies with filters on them or memes. Twitter is just retweeting a bunch of art and stuff like that. So, you know, if you want to follow me on social media, you can. If you want to subscribe, I hope you do. Even if you don't, I hope this video has done something for you that doesn't make you hate me as a person, or doesn't make you feel like, I ain't never watching another one of this nigga videos again. The only thing I hope that if you get anything negative out of this video, I hope it's the fact that, dang, this man talks way too much, and you walk away and go about your day. But that's it. I'm out.